Okay. But all right. So thank you for joining me at 8 a.m. We're just going to get started. We're going to do a couple different things, a couple yoga-like things today, but we're just going to start with something simple so we can sit kind of in this seated position, whenever is comfortable. And we're going to do some neck stretches just to get it started. So take your right arm and pull to the right here gently. Just feel a nice deep stretch. All right, and let's go for the other side. All right, next we're going to continue with the neck. We're going to look up and down slowly a couple times. Just kind of stretching out the neck in all different angles. We'll look left to right. Get a couple neck crunches. And then let's do some neck rolls. So try to go in one direction. Maybe you do like a half roll where you don't go all the way around. And you can go in the other direction. You can do back and forth. Kind of whatever feels good is going to be the theme. All right, trying to get the blood flowing, wake up our muscles a little bit here. All right, and we'll come back to rest. All right, so our neck's warmed up a little bit. Let's go into cat-cow, one of my favorites. So you're gonna be in tabletop position, so knees are under the hips. You can put a towel under your knees or a pillow if you need a little bit extra cushion. I got this mat from Amazon. It's like extra thick. It's not your typical yoga mat, so I love it because it's extra squishy. And then we want our wrists and hands directly under the shoulders. So for cat-cow, it's really good for spine flexibility and just waking up everything in the body. We're going to pull the belly down, arch the back, look up. This is when we're gonna breathe in, and then we're gonna breathe out. Pull the belly button up and in, round the back, and look down. Kind of like we're a scared cat. Hence cat-cow. Okay, we're just gonna kind of cycle through those a couple times. So breathing in. And breathing out, rounding. Go at your own pace. As far as like how much you arch, you know, depending on how tight you are or how much you round, that's going to be up to you. Okay. You can close your eyes if you want. Try to really feel what feels good. Sometimes I like to sway my hips side to side, keep it loose. I get a couple hip cracks, like mine just cracked a little bit. You can do hip circles, kind of whatever is tight in your body, whatever's loose, just go with it. My kind of mental theme for today, as you engage with your body, is to just be grateful and thankful for your body. No matter what aches and pains you have right now, no matter what it may or may not be doing that you don't want it to do, you're still alive and breathing today. And I want you to be grateful for it and thankful for all that it's able to do. We'll do a couple more of these. We're gonna kind of build off this. All right, we'll come back to rest. So come back to that neutral position. So now we're gonna take our right leg, and I'm gonna move up a little bit so you can see me. We're gonna take our right leg straight back. Right, we're gonna be balancing on the toes, and I want you to just kind of gently rock forward and back. Good stretch for the calves, for the feet. Doesn't have to be super crazy. You might even feel this in the wrists a little bit. All right, now from here, we're gonna bring our leg straight out to the side. All right, so my foot is, if you can see it, it's kind of flat, if you can get it flat, straight out to the side. And we're actually gonna rock a little bit. You might even just feel a stretch from bringing that leg straight out. I'm actually going to, just so you can see. It's gonna be like this. So just from seeing that leg straight out, you might already feel a deep stretch in your groin, in your inner thigh. You can hold it there if you want. Like I said, if you want some more movement, you can kind of rock back and forth. You can tuck the toes if you want. You can keep it flat. This one always gets me. It's always a tight area. All right, let's bring that back. So now we're gonna kind of have that right leg back again. I want you to lift it up to about hip height and bring it over to the side. So that's actually gonna give you a nice side stretch in here. So just even holding that, how far up you go to the side will be how deep your stretch is. So just kind of breathe in to your right rib cage, really feel the air fill up to that side and breathe into the stretch. See if while you're holding this that you can actually just relax your body just a little bit. One part a little bit, whether it's your jaw, maybe you're clenching your jaw, tense shoulders, whatever, just try to relax it. All right, and we'll lift that foot up slowly and bring it back to center. All right, now we gotta do the other side. So left leg, straight back, and we're rocking. I want you to notice too, when we get to the end of class, how your body feels, you know, because I'm sure most of you don't stretch upon waking. Maybe you do a couple little stretches, but maybe not a formal stretch. So I want you to notice if you notice a difference in maybe your mood or your blood flow, you know, you feel more energized, you feel more relaxed, flexible, not as stiff, hopefully less pain if you have any. All right, we're gonna bring the leg up, bring it out to the side. So straight out, this is my tight side, so I'm feeling it a little bit. We're just gonna rock. All right, let's bring that leg in, straight up again, and we're gonna bring it down and across. Again, feeling that stretch in the side. Another important thing with stretching is just learning to be in the present moment and kind of just feeling things as they are, you know, whether it feels good, whether it's neutral, or it feels not so good. Just being in the moment, acknowledging that you're in the moment, knowing that this moment is here right now, you're never gonna experience it again and it'll pass. So just kind of observing what you're feeling. All right, we'll bring that leg up again and back to rest. All right, so since we're still in child's pose, or not child's pose, cat-cow, we're gonna do a little bit of a wrist stretch too. So what I want you to do is flip your palms around. All right, just like that. Now what you're able to do, this might be a good stretch as is, You can rock a little bit if you want to add a little bit of movement in there, feel a little bit of a deeper stretch. You can just hold it. Hips and wrists. Neck, hips and wrists is what we're working on today, and those are all very commonly kind of tight areas. All right, we'll come back to rest. Let's kind of come to a kneeling position now. We're gonna do a couple just normal sort of wrist stretches where we're gonna have our right palm out or left palm and pull down on the fingers. It doesn't matter. Sorry, I don't want my hair to interfere, but it doesn't matter what side you're stretching because we're gonna do both. It's too early to remember what side. Again, we're on our phones all the time or writing or on the computer, so our wrists are probably tight and crampy from holding certain positions. Let's try the other side. All right, back to rest, and let's just do some little wrist circles, kind of shake it out. Again, whatever feels good to you. Maybe open the hands, close the hands, again, just to get some blood flow, stretch it out. This next one is a good one. It's child's pose with a twist, okay? So what we're gonna do, first, let's just kind of sink into a normal child's pose. So I want you to kind of bring your heels together. Knees can be spread apart a little bit. And you're gonna sink your butt back, arms straight out, and just hold this here. You can bring your forehead to the mat. Just try to relax everything. You might feel it in your lower back. Hips stretch, arm stretch, shoulder stretch. It really stretches everywhere. Again, this is a great stretch to try to relax the muscles. Really be present right now. Think about each area of your body from head to toe. Is there something when you're scanning your body that's a little stiff that maybe you can just let go a little bit? Again, maybe it's loosening the jaw, relaxing the shoulders, pulling them away from the ears. Just sinking a little bit deeper. All right, so we're gonna kind of stay in this position, but we're gonna switch it up a little bit. We're gonna put our hands behind our back. This is actually a little bit of a yoga flow. So we're gonna put our hands behind our back. We can put our head to the earth. We're gonna do, you can watch me first. We're going to breathe in. As we breathe in, we're going to lift up, bring our arms up to the sides, hands straight above us, and reach up and look up to the ceiling. And then when we breathe out, we're gonna sink our hips back, bring our arms back to behind our back, and put our head down. Okay, so we're gonna do that for 5 counts. All right, whenever you're ready, and breathe in, lift up to the ceiling, reach those arms up, look up to the sky, hold it for a second, and breathe out, bring the arms out to the side, behind the back, control it on the way down, head to the mat. All right, on an inhale, we're gonna bring that up. Reach up to the sky. Exhale, bring it back down, arms out, hands behind us. So try to follow your breath here. Breathing is the hardest part, right? Timing everything. And it's okay if you have to hang the bottom to do a little breath cycle. Good way to get some stretching in that's not just a sit and hold stretch. It's more of a movement stretch. Let's do one more. And again, we'll just kind of hang out down here for a second. You can keep your hands behind your back. You can have your arms out in front of you, whatever is more comfortable. Alright, we're gonna start to switch into our next move, which is Sphinx pose, one of my favorites. So we're gonna be on our stomachs. Just gonna adjust my mic a little bit so I'm not rubbing. Okay, so in Sphinx pose, we are, just gonna kind of shift here, on the forearms. Picture like the sphinxes in Egypt. On the forearms, chest is tall, pulling the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, and we're just gonna kind of relax. I want you to relax the belly, the hips, the toes even. You know, you don't have to have your feet a certain shoulder width apart, whatever's like comfortable for you, but pretty much we're just gonna stay here. We're gonna hold this. Good for the lower back, the abs, and do what is comfortable for you. You know, you might have to sink a little bit. You might not be able to stretch all the way up. That is fine. Just do what's comfortable. And again, remember to breathe. Breathe controlled, slow and controlled. Notice the flow of your breath. Do you need to take deeper breaths? Do you have short and shallow breaths? What's going on? Just observe it. And again, we're gonna go back to the trend of kind of noticing what our body's doing right now. What can we soften? Can we pull the shoulders away from the ears? Can we just release a little bit more to go deeper into the stretch? Let gravity do the work. With each exhale, can we just sink a little bit deeper into the stretch and relax a little bit more? I also want you to notice your thoughts, because when we're stretching, it can be somewhat meditative because we're not doing anything really. So our mind could be busy and wander. Well, this is a good opportunity to try to again bring the focus to the present moment. Enjoy the moment. Maybe you're noticing the music playing in the background, maybe something in your house, maybe you notice the birds singing, maybe you just notice that your body feels good right now. But focus on the present moment. If you find your mind wandering, I want you to picture that you're on a highway. You're driving on a highway, and any of the thoughts that you have attached to you are just going to go off onto the exits. I want you to picture, in my head, I picture almost like a video game car on this endless highway, and my thoughts are like little squares. They don't necessarily have any look to them, but that square just kind of bounces off to the exit on either side. So if you have that thought, let it go off the exit. Or maybe they're bubbles and you let the thoughts pop and then they're gone, to bring yourself back to the present moment. Sorry, I'm getting yoga-like on you, but I think it's good. It's good for you. All right, so now we're gonna kind of transition just a little bit, a small movement. We're gonna focus on a side stretch. So with this Sphinx pose, we're actually gonna shift over to the left ever so slightly. How intensely you and how far you bring that shift over is up to you, but just notice that little shift, and we're kind of in that C shape, so we're getting a side stretch, and what a difference that little adjustment can make. And your hands will be off the mat for this, at least one of them. And again, when we're breathing in, feel that air fill up the right side. If we're going to the left, you're gonna feel all that air breathing into the right rib cage, the right lung. All right, we'll slowly bring it back to center, and now we got to do the other side, so let's do that right side. Maybe you notice that like one side is tighter than the other, one side feels different. That's okay. We're all different. We might use one side more, might have an injury on one side. Just kind of observe it. Take note. All right, we'll bring ourselves back to center. So we're gonna get a little bit of a quad stretch in now since we're here. I want you to bring your hands in front of you, layer them on top of each other, head to the mat. Just kind of resting here for a second to rest. So now that we're here, what I want you to do, right hand, we're gonna keep our right hand here, and you place your head down. And we're gonna reach our left leg back, and then gently pull. You could pull from the toes, the ankle, the shin, whatever's comfortable. We're gonna gently pull back and feel that stretch all in the front of the thigh. You can rest your head down. All right, we'll bring that leg back, release it, slowly bring it down. Now we gotta do the other side. So left arm down as our little pillow, right leg back, reach for that ankle. All right, bringing it back to rest, release that leg, slowly bring it back down. Okay, so we're gonna come out of Sphinx pose. We're gonna sit up now, so you can kind of put your hands at your side, press up. Let's sink back into Child's pose really quickly just to stretch out that back. Arms out in front. All right, and we'll slowly sit back up. All right, as we're kind of getting to the end here, we have a couple minutes. We are gonna sit on our butts. We're gonna do some basic stretches. I wanna do the butterfly stretch, the straddle stretch. I apologize, I have two cameras. It's amazing if you saw this setup back here, but I have my phone as my nice camera, and this is to see my face, so I'm looking here, but it's okay. But we're gonna do the butterfly stretch. So heels together, feet together. Whether you lean forward or not, that's kind of up to you to get a deeper stretch. I don't like the bouncing like this. With most stretches, you shouldn't do that, just because if you're tight and you're stiff, it can pull something, strain something. So let's just kind of try to hold it. And you don't have to bring your feet out or as close as you need. You can bring them forward a little bit and just feel that stretch. But if you do want to do a little bit of a lean forward, that's fine. I kind of rock a little bit sometimes because my hip gets tight, so feel free. All right, we'll slowly bring it back to rest. Let's do a little bit of a straddle stretch. So we're gonna bring our right leg out, left foot in. We're going to rotate to the right and reach for that foot. Really feel that stretch in the side here. Lean forward with the torso also. You might feel this in the lower back a little bit because you can get a little bit more reach. A lot of people like to reach with just the hands, but if we lean forward, we get a little bit of that deeper stretch and feel it in different areas. All right, we'll bring it back up. Let's do the other side. So left leg out, right foot in. Again, turn the heart and the chest towards the foot and reach for those toes. If you just can reach the ankle, that's okay. If you can just reach the calf, that's okay. If you can't bring your forehead to your knee, okay. Whatever feels like a good stretch for you and your body. You know, it'll get better with time. And again, you may notice, wow, one side is harder than the other. One side I can't go down as far as the other. All right, we'll bring that back up to center. We're gonna do one more. We're just going to bring our feet straight out in front of us. Again, reach for the toes. This is a perfect one to, again, lean with the torso to get that little bit of a deeper stretch in there. You could pull your toes back if you like as well. All right, and we'll bring it to rest. Slowly sit back up. I kind of want you to kind of sit back in your resting position, whether that might be kneeling, sitting cross-legged, some sort of variation. But I think I'll wrap it up there. I think I timed it pretty well with a half hour. I didn't really have a set schedule, but I think that was pretty good. But I want you to just kind of sit here and notice how you feel for a second. Just take a couple seconds of quiet time. Notice how your body feels now as maybe prior to starting. Do we feel a little bit looser now? Does the blood flow feel a little better? Do we feel a little bit more relaxed? Remember, let's go back to that theme of being grateful for our body, thankful for what it's able to do. Thank you for joining me for stretching today.